Hey everyone, it's Marcus, and I'm totally thrilled today. I'm chatting with an Australian music creative force. Please, everyone, welcome Pete Murray. Pete, hey, how you doing?
Good, Marcus. Yeah, I'm really good. Thanks. Really good.
You are just about to wrap up a 60-date acoustic tour that has gone all around Australia. It came to Adelaide. You've only got four more dates left. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel great. The first thing everyone says is like, "Are you tired?" I'm like, "No, I'm actually okay," because you get used to it. You basically get used to getting around, doing especially the regional areas, doing long drives and up early, driving where you got to go, get in, do sound check, have dinner, and do the show, go to bed, do the same thing the next day.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. Like probably the hardest week we had or fortnight we had was in Western Australia, where there's lots of really long drives. So that was a pretty tough one. But apart from that matter, I feel good. It's been the shows have been amazing, really well received, and sold out most of them. So it's been great.
Has there been a tour highlight so far? Something that's happened that has been like, yeah, wow, that was amazing.
Probably a few. Normally there's when you do the a tour, there's always a show that is kind of like the show, the killer show that just for whatever reason from start to finish it's incredible. And I think that was the Enmore Theatre in Sydney,
Yeah,
which is
cool.
great. Hard to sort of take away from some other ones too, but um, I think that was just from start to finish, the crowd was up to it, and the core crowd's been really up for it anyway, and it's been great. But that was just the probably the killer moment, and everything that you said was just funny. Everyone laughed, and it was just a great moment. It was just like they were involved in the show from start to finish, and it was just really it was an amazing night.
Now, I will need to say congratulations because I saw on social media just this morning that it is 14 years since the Blue Sky Blue album came out. Woo! 14 years gone just like that.
I know, yeah. I only saw that this morning too. So yeah, like time goes fast, doesn't it? It's
Oh,
really
holy.
once you get going, yeah, it's crazy to think that that was a long time ago now. So 14 years, it's gone fast.
Your catalogue of music has been incredible, considering, the first album came out in 2001. I mean, a long time ago. We're practically 25 years of incredible Pete Murray music. Hey, but the reason why we are chatting today, I mean, we've got so much stuff we can talk about, but one of the main reasons is that you've just brought out some new music.
Yep.
Amy, just insane, which is the prelude to the upcoming album, which is called Longing, which comes out on October the 3rd, which is not far away. So, yeah, you wrap up this tour and then bang, straight into releasing a new album. So, there's no rest for you, my friends.
No, there isn't, and look, this whole solo tour, if we go back, it's been sort of in I guess planned for the last couple of years of when do I do this solo tour because I've never done a solo tour in Australia.
Yep.
So when would we do this? Just turned out we sort of started to plan it and go, look, we've got to book this well in advance and get it going, and so it turned out for this year this is going to be the right one. But then also been recording new music, which at the same time we've been releasing some singles off that. And it sort of made sense to let's some of those singles are acoustic songs, so let's put those out while we're doing the acoustic solo tour, and
Yep.
then we can do the band versions of these songs at the end. So it kind of made sense that this is just going to work and happen that way. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I love playing with the band. I've actually really enjoyed playing solo gigs. It's been great, telling stories, more sort of intimate and telling stories. But the band stuff's going to be good fun, and I feel like the new album has some a lot of really cool tunes on it that I like that I'm going to like playing live. I haven't had a hit out with those yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Obviously, along with Amy, there's another couple of tracks that have come out as well. I Am Fire is brilliant, but actually, my personal favorite so far is Home to Me. It's just
Mm.
beautifully written. The music is gorgeous, and yeah, so congratulations on that. That you've already got my favorite. There we are.
That's good. It's funny. I sent out the album to a few mates just to get a bit of feedback from people and see what their thoughts were,
Yep.
and that song came back from a few people saying, I think that the song on this album, one of the best songs on the album is this "Home to Me," which is a has this bit of a country hint of country flavor to it, you know, and it's just got lyrical content that I think people can connect to and really love. So, you know, it's a heartfelt song.
Yeah, I love it. And well, look, all of your music has been that, you know, so why change the rhythm now, right? Um,
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Now, when the album comes out, you know, it is obviously occurring with some album launch dates as well. You know, for those of you in New South Wales, October the 3rd at the Hotel Brunswick in New South Wales, 4th of October in DY showroom, and then 5th of October at Gosford. So that's going to be good fun for you. Is there talk of a tour around Australia with this new album? Or is that on the cards yet?
There's a talk of doing another summer run, which I did last year, which was really great fun. You know, sort of just getting people while they're on holidays and everyone's up for a good time. So that summer run, we're still just working out the shows at the moment, but that will be happening sort of late December and January.
Mm. Hey, now let's get to the nuts and bolts of the album. What was the main inspiration for you to create this body of work, Longing?
You know, it's funny. This has kind of been 10 years in the making. A lot of songs that weren't quite fitting on other albums or weren't quite finished, and you know, I kept putting them in a folder of just called an unfinished folder. And so I would go back, look at these songs, and occasionally over the years I'd get one out and sort of work on it a little bit more, and then put it away again for a number of years, and it would just sit there. And then as I sort of had other songs that weren't quite finished, I'd put them in this folder, and so then I went back and there's a lot of songs in there. And I started to sort of think there's actually really good, solid body of work here that's I've just got to get in and complete it and finish it off. And the majority of it was kind of done at this stage over years of just sort of tweaking things here and there. And I feel like, you know, when you've got time to write songs and do an album, you can have a really solid album in the way that it's got great lyrical content, it's got meaning and feel to it. And other than trying to write an album in a year or two, which you're doing quite quickly to try and get things done, and it's not really coming from the heart sometimes. But this is like 10 years in the making. If I go back to like the Feeler, which is the first album I did, second album, the first one was called The Game.
Yeah, yeah.
We took 5 songs off The Game and put them on the Feeler, which was the major release going through Sony. And that album took, you know, years to get to, lots of writing to get to the stage to record The Game. And then a couple of years after that to record Feeler. So Feeler was, had a long time of writing as well. And then, you know, you've got this body of work that was a super successful album because it had the content there that people could connect to. And, you know, I feel like this new album has that as well. It's got great dynamics, a lot of songs to choose from. You get the right ones, you know, for me, 10 songs that fit on that album. And that's, I think, what this album has as well. So I didn't sort of set out to have any plans for it other than I just kept popping these songs in this unfinished folder. I was like, and it was just more just to so that I could finish them. But at the end, it was like, that's really what this was. So, you know, that's how it worked.
Like you said, 2003's Feeler album is when, you know, a lot of Australia actually stood up and actually started taking notice. Of course, it had incredible songs on it, but the one that really catapulted your career was So Beautiful. Lyrically, that has just stood the test of time. It's just an iconic song, and as relevant today, you know, to put into your set list as anytime, you know. So 2001, The Game, right up until now, 2025's The Longing or Longing. As an artist, how do you think you've changed or grown or developed in that period of time?
I think probably understanding the studio work a little bit more, like production. I was very inexperienced back then and with what I wanted and how to get it. And I think that was probably the biggest thing. When I step in the studio now, I kind of have an idea of what I'm after.
Yeah.
Back then, that album, if I listen to it, it's got some great songs on it, you know, and it's really good. It's very dynamic, probably like too much. So I think trying to get that flavor where an album kind of can have this sort of, you know, flow that takes you on a bit of a journey, but not like up and down so much. So, you know, start to finish, you want to put an album on and get to the end and go, that's happened so fast, I want to play it again.
Yeah,
rather than go skip this track, skip that track, let's get to this one's a good song and that's a good song. But you want to have this. Well, hopefully, this album is something that people will put on and go, "Yep, it's great from start to finish."
cool. I cannot wait to hear the whole album, based on the 4 songs that have come out so far. Cannot even wait. Hey, so when you're putting together some new music, what comes for you typically first? Is it the lyrics, or is it the music, or does it depend on the song?
Depends on the song, really. But for me, most of the time, I will find melody and music, and
Yeah,
then the lyrics kind of flow. So as I've got the song down, you'll kind of get a melody and you'll mumble things, and something that might sound like something that starts to sort of sound like a good lyric that you can then work on.
yeah,
And as you start to get a few little lyrics in there, I find that you start to have you know, a theme that you're going for, or what do you want to sing about, and you'll start to sort of put that together.
yeah.
Sometimes you've got an idea. I just want to write a song about whatever, and you'll start to go down that path. So, and this one, it's hard to remember. Like going back 10 years when I started to write some of these songs, I'm thinking, how did I do that one? Like, what was I thinking? The song itself, "Longing," is a really beautiful song, and I would, whether it's and one of my a few people have mentioned that it's a little bit Pink Floydish.
Yeah.
Um, and for me, I thought that's a great reference because I listened to it and I went, really, it's how are you picking up Pink Floyd in that? But I listened to it and I went, actually, that is. But
Wow.
that's stuff that I would have listened to over the years, Pink Floyd, and you can hear that influence in there. So I didn't really set out to have that flavor or that sound, but that's just how it came, and having that old sort of school songwriting there from even like a Neil Young, how he wrote these songs that just flowed and were quite lengthy and had some nice little solos and a good mood to it, I think. But that's probably be one of my favorite tracks off the album, "Longing" itself, the self-titled one.
So in regards to, these incredible artists that, sometimes inspire us or, motivate us, is there an artist that you would love to collaborate with, hands down?
Yeah, I think so. There's Frank Ocean's a really cool singer-songwriter. I think and he's very modern, so I think it'd be nice to sort of to do something with him. It'd be
Yeah.
interesting to see what you come up with.
Mm.
Um, and I guess mixing my kind of old school attitude, the way I work, and then his modern day stuff. That'd be pretty cool.
I like it. Pete Murray, you're an absolute legend. And I wish you all the best for the upcoming release of the album on October the 3rd. But everybody, like, get onto your streaming platforms now because there's 4 tracks off the album that have already been released. Like I said, Amy, and there is Home to Me, which is my favorite. I Am Fire, and Wouldn't It Be Good? So take a listen, everyone, in anticipation for October the 3rd, Longing. Pete, thank you so much for the conversation. I've really enjoyed
Thanks,
it.
Marcus.
And all the
Yeah, me
best.
too. Thanks, mate.
Oh, it's awesome. And I cannot wait for the next tour. Fingers crossed it's coming back to Adelaide. Can't wait.
Thanks,
Awesome.
mate.
Thanks,
Good stuff.
buddy.
See you soon. Bye, mate.